Whenever you guys are ready.
Well, you talked about the emotion of the game, about Clint and what happened yesterday, and how much did that have an effect on what happened tonight?
I've had a tough time with my emotions for the last 10 days. It's the last 10 days have been hard on me, and it started with Andre Gilbert's situation, and it's been a roller coaster ride. So I can only imagine how 17 and 18-year-old guys can handle it, because I'm 41 years old, and I can tell you it's beat me down here for the last 10 days. 17 and 18-year-old kids, just everything, whether it be the unfortunate situation with Andre or, beating Kansas, and then all of a sudden listening from everybody, not just in the city of Manhattan, but across the country, saying how incredibly good we are, and then going to Missouri and not playing with the kind of energy and emotion that we've played with, and losing something we hadn't tasted in a while, having to deal with those emotions and then come back and obviously deal with Clint's situation is it's been hard on me. So I can only imagine how when I was 17 and 18 years old, I can tell you I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
You getting kind of a flashbacks in Missouri in the second half?
No, it's against Missouri, we just didn't even shoot the ball in the second half. We just held the ball. Early in the second half there, we just missed dink after dink after dink after dink, and we didn't defend as well as I'd like, but we talked about this earlier in the year. When you continue to miss open shot after open shot after open shot, it deflates you and it takes that energy away from you on the defensive end. And we beat a pretty good team now, guys. Let's not forget, Nebraska is the same team that beat Oregon and Arizona State early in the year. Two pretty darn good teams from the Pac-10, and it's the Big 12. So it's Doc Sadler is one of my favorite people in this business. He and I talked last night at length, and we've both kind of gotten to where we're at, following similar paths. So he's a grinder. He's a winner, and his teams are winners, and they're going to play that way.
I'm talking about the last maybe 9, 10 minutes of the first half when you pulled away. You really had a series of possessions that were very up there.
We made a couple shots, and then I don't want to say the easier thing was that we were a little more patient on offense, and then Marich picked up a second foul, so then the people in their box became real small. So we were able to kind of spread their box out and then isolate Mike around the rim. And then, to Mike's credit, Mike worked his tail off today, defensively and offensively. And he earned those points he got today. He earned them because he worked for them.
Is that the first time you've seen that defense this year?
It's the first time anybody uses it extensively the way that Nebraska did. Some people have tried it for a couple possessions here and there, but nobody has stayed in it the way they did for entirety.
How good was he?
Who's Mike? I was real proud of him. I was real proud of him because, like I just said, he worked. He didn't stand around and watch the game. He had a guy on him at all times, and he continued to work. I thought we did a halfway decent job, for the most part, in finding him. And our guys, we're pretty good at that. We missed some shots today. I mean, we missed some shots that we've been making for 6-7 weeks now. We just missed. So it's going to happen. I thought Jake was all right. I left him out there for too long in the second half, and he got tired. And when he gets tired, he's 18 years old. He made some mistakes. The energy that he needs to play with so he can be real good. He kind of lost that energy because I pretty much left him out there the whole half, and that's wrong on my part. His nickname's Steady Stu. That's who he is, and obviously he would have gotten a bunch of wide open looks today, and Stu can shoot that open shot, and it would have made it difficult for them to stay in that box on one. It's nothing to be worried about. He had 35 and 13 today. Made 15 out of 21 shots. He's got a bad toe. Every once in a while when he lands, it hurts. Walks around, pain goes away, goes right back in there. Mike's a special kid.
Frank, have you got a chance to talk with Clint since he left, and what do you expect from that?
I've talked extensively with Clint since the day his mom made a left turn. You know, you know, like I told him, he's got to do what his heart tells him to do. And right now, with him, it's not a basketball game, it's life. And that's a tight-knit family. And, you know, they've been fighting that disease along with his mom for a while as a whole. And, you know, we're going to go down there. We're going to fly down there on Friday as a team and you know, let him know that we're here for him, you know, and how important he is to us. And then, you know, we'll see what happens from there.
He never shows us when he has emotions like that. He's really bad. How is he, you know?
He's crushed. He's crushed. It's, you know, the last 3 or 4 days, those are the kind of days as a basketball coach, as a older person, it's hard to see a grown man, which Clint is now. You know, it's hard to see a grown man struggling the way he's struggling. Those are the days that are difficult for me.
Do you deal with that when he comes back? Have you had that happen before, high school kid or in college?
You know, I've had family members pass away, but I've never, a mother, brother, father, you know, never dealt with this before. And, you know, it's, you know, and some guys, you know, they lose family members that they're not really tied to. So you kind of move on, you know. It's, you know, it's, Stu's never let anybody know how much hurt and pain this whole experience has been on him. That's what makes him such a great kid. That even though for the last 2 or 3 years he's been battling this privately, he's never allowed anybody publicly to realize or to affect who he is publicly, you know. And you know, I'm sure that, you know, it's going, you know, some tough times, and you know, but he's a strong kid, and that's a strong family, and you know, I'm sure that that he's going to do whatever his heart tells him to do, that he knows would make his mother proud, and that's what he's going to do.
When do you go down Friday?
Right after practice.
Frank, you said you left turn. What kind of time frame are you talking about?
What's today, Wednesday? Sunday.
They weren't in Columbia, were they?
I'm sorry?
Were the parents in Columbia?
No, sir. No. She came in for the Kansas game and went back, and I don't have this information, but from what I understand, she wasn't doing real good at our game against Kansas. She came in to experience it and went back and just never got better.
Anything else, guys? Thank you.
Thank you.